Welcome back to week 12 of the NFL season. This is our NFL bet show where we go through and give you our top three favorite bets of the week, including our locks of the week. Coming off of a pretty solid week, looks like we went 2, 4, 6, 7, and 7, 5.
Yep.
Yep, pretty solid, pretty solid. Okay. Nick won't be joining us this week, but he'll send us our picks and we'll post those on Instagram. But who wants to start us off with their first pick of the week?
I'll jump in. My first pick of the week is going to be Broncos -6. Took the Broncos last week, and that may have been the easiest bet of all time against the Falcons team, who is definitely better than the Raiders. I'm pretty sure the Raiders are trying to lose at this point so that they can get Shador in the draft. He's tweeting, "Thank you, God," literally every single time they lose a game, like 5 minutes after the game ends. So I think this team has packed it in for the year. On top of that, Minshew's, I don't think, going to be able to do a whole lot against this Broncos defense. He is 35 out of 40 qualifying QBs against pressure, and the Broncos are fourth in pressure rate this year. So I think he's going to be not throwing from a clean pocket very often, and that has not bode well for him this year. And on top of that, Bo Nix has played himself into the Rookie of the Year conversations after last week. Maybe worth a flyer at plus 400 if Jaden's ribs continue to limit him and his ability to scramble and make those downfield throws that he's known for. So Broncos beat the Raiders in week 5, 34-18, and I could see a very similar scenario happening this week.
Okay, Corey.
I don't know if Shador Sanders going to the Raiders is like the best thing for him. I feel like being in Vegas that young
Yeah.
and that type of mindset that he has,
Also, he's
like
just not good.
I don't think he's an NFL caliber quarterback at all, but um I just he's a flashy guy. I can just see this going going south.
There's been a lot
But
of smoke about Cowboys as well, getting Dion to coach them and drafting Shador.
well,
Be wild.
PB, sorry about your second favorite team would be down in the dumps for a long time if that happened. But
Hopefully they draft him.
then you gotta start cheering for him. So I don't know if you want to do that, but I'll move over here and I will take my first pick. It is a homer pick. It is a blind faith pick here. Um, I spent $5 this past week and I bought the QB room breakdown 100. It was like an hour and 40 minutes of Anthony Richardson versus the Jets. I just couldn't get enough of that game last week. I mean, that's why they drafted him. Now they get the Lions at home, plus 7.5. Colts, one of the better teams against ATS. They're 7-2 in the last nine. Detroit, though, is also a wagon, and I'm scared. But this is a spot where if you look back past the last 4 years, the Colts have beaten the best teams in the NFL at least one time. And a couple years ago it was the Chiefs when the Chiefs won the Super Bowl. Last year was the Ravens on the road. They went in there and beat Lamar. The year before that it was the Eagles, I believe. No, not the Eagles, but they have some high quality wins. Colts are playing for playoff potential. Like they got a couple teams behind them, same record or one game behind. They got to play catch up to the Broncos. I think this is a good spot for the Colts. I mean, I do. I know the Lions have a lot of weapons, but I like the Colts secondary. They've gotten better. Run defense might be a little iffy. They seem to get a little bit healthy on the defensive line. Grover Stewart, Buckner obviously been back. Muhammad may be playing this game. Probably not. He's still on IR, but he's been practicing. So I'm taking the Colts. If they run Anthony Richardson like they did last week, I think the Lions are gonna have trouble stopping it. So give me the Colts here plus 7.5, and man, put a heart monitor on me during this game because up and down.
I feel like collectively as a podcast, we've in consecutive weeks gone against the Lions, fucked around and found out.
Like we have, but like I mean, I haven't dipped my toes in against them, so I'm going to dip my toes in this
Yeah,
time.
that's
See
fair.
if the
That's
water's out, see how hot the water is. But
it's pretty
Hey,
damn hot, Corey.
we had, Wait, I wanted the Texans covered. I was on that,
Yep.
and I actually don't mind that spot, Corey, over 7. I think that, yeah, the Lions play a lot of man coverage. I think you have some receivers. Like I think it could be a Pittman game there. Um,
he's
I
still
think
so hurt though. Like this last week, it was so evident that his back is bothering him so much. Like he's usually a really really good run blocker, and like he wouldn't run block anyone. I mean, he made some catches, but I still think that back is really hurting him. But I hope it is because I'm a Pittman believer.
yeah, and just man coverage. That benefits like running quarterbacks and stuff. So you could see Richardson be running a lot. Um, that game. Okay, my first pick is Tommy Cutlets. We got the Giants +6 against the Buccaneers at home in New York, making this quarterback switch. I think, the morale, usually when you haven't been winning a lot of games and you make that switch, team kind of rallies behind you and the fans are going to be going crazy for him. And, the Buccaneers, like Baker, like without Evans, out without Godwin, they've won some games, but Baker has been making all sorts of mistakes. The Giants' defense is still, at least their D line is, something that you can get after Baker and force him to make mistakes. And Mike Evans is still questionable to play in this game, and if he does play, we'll see how effective he is. Um, Coming off of that injury, like it was obviously a pretty. I mean, he was out for a good while there, so. To me, the Tampa Bay Bucks, led by Baker Mayfield, with that core of receivers like Kate Otten is pretty much their wide receiver one, going against a Giants team that has Malik Neighbors, these playmakers, Slayton and Wan'Dale Robinson, all these guys, Tyrone Tracy. I just think I don't know why at home they are 6-point underdogs here. Like to me, that's absolutely crazy. Probably gonna sprinkle the money line here too. I think the Giants can get this done at home. So first pick, we're on the Giants +6.
I did hear some chatter coming out of the Giants locker room that they absolutely hated what they did to Daniel Dimes.
They hated what
Um,
they did to him.
yeah, this week, like
Okay.
absolutely everyone's upset. Danny Dimes wrote like a retirement letter, basically, this yesterday on a press conference. Like, I mean, I get it, but Tommy Cutlets, man, I mean,
How's your family?
yeah, he's not doing well to this game. I mean, they might be able to
No,
cover, but
I don't think he's some like great quarterback.
no, I know, I get it. Their
I just
defense
think
and
getting 6 points at home is crazy against a very depleted Buccaneers team who I think their defense, like their secondary is not all that great.
okay.
So yeah. All right, who wants to go with their next pick?
All right, my second pick is going to be another homer pick. Bears +3.5. So obviously we get that horrific, horrific play caller Shane Waldron out of the building last week, and I was actually pleasantly surprised with Thomas Brown's play calling. You had more designated QB runs. DJ Moore was an emphasis. Roshan getting involved in big personnel packages, and on top of that, the O line got healthy, and you saw the difference that made. You got Braxton Jones pancaking guys downfield. Darnell Wright is back, and it was the lowest pressure rate that Caleb faced since week 5. On top of that, the offense had a 49% success rate, which is up there with the best teams in the league this year. And, this Viking defense has been solid all year. And, they get after the quarterback. They blitz the most out of any team in the league. And Caleb against the blitz last week was 8 for 10 for 87 yards, had a big chunk play to Rome, excuse me. And, was given more time and delivered when he wasn't being sacked 8 and 9 times in a game. And so I can also see the Bears defense giving Darnold fits. The weather's not going to be great here. and they're relying on a banged up Aaron Jones and Cam Akers on the ground. So, this is not a comfortable spot with how the Bears have looked, you know, fumbling the bag left and right. But we're getting the hook here, 3.5 at home. And that half point might be the difference, in case Eberflus takes another end of game dump in his pants. So don't love it, but we're getting bear weather, and I think that means you gotta take the home dogs here.
Yeah. I mean, are you hoping they win this game or are you hoping they cover?
I mean, I'm hoping they win the game.
Okay. I mean, I know you, I mean, I, I mean, don't you want him gone?
Yeah, I think there's plenty of spots coming up where Thanksgiving against the Lions is going to be a fun one. So I
Hey,
I actually think the Bears could keep that one close.
yeah, I mean,
okay. All right. Just curious.
yeah.
You know, it's gotta test the waters, you know?
Yeah, no, I mean, I want Eberflus gone at the end of the year, but like we talked about, the last couple of weeks, the Bears don't fire coaches midseason. Literally not once in the history of the Bears. And so it's not going to happen midseason. I mean, I guess if they're just losing horrendously week in and week out, it might make it easier this offseason. But at the same time, like, I don't want Caleb to just be completely like
No,
destroyed
yeah, yeah.
rookie
Yeah,
year.
no. Yeah, you want to see some progression.
Yeah.
So I get it. Okay. All right. Just food for
Fair
thought.
question. Fair question.
Okay, we'll move in here with my next pick, and it is going to be the best team against the worst team. Chiefs minus 10.5 on the road. I don't care. Is Andy Dalton playing or is it Bryce Young? It's probably Bryce Young against this Chiefs defense. Like, I mean, this is going to be one of those games where, as a Panthers fan, as many there are out there, I don't know how many, but they're going to be like, we made a mistake. We made a mistake. We traded our soul for a quarterback who probably shouldn't have gone number one. And they're going to see Patrick Mahomes, best quarterback in the NFL, absolutely just shred him apart. I mean, this could get ugly fast. I mean, this could be like a game where we see like the Lions last week to the Jags. I could see the exact same thing happening here. Um, I just don't know how the Panthers are going to score points. Chuba Hubbard can only do so much. And against the against the Chiefs run defense, like I just don't think it's gonna be a lot. And then they're gonna rely on Bryce Young. Yeah, I just think he absolutely gets obliterated in this game. So give me the Chiefs here. I will say Chiefs are 1-4 ATS in the last five. Not great. But they are 4-2 ATS last six games played in week 12. So I'll take that stat.
Another one for you. Double digit favorites are 5-0 ATS this year.
And we'll take that one too.
Okay. My second pick is going to be the Rams plus 2.5 against the Philadelphia Eagles, who, I mean, I do think the Eagles are probably the best NFC team. Like, I think they might be better than the Lions. Um, but in this particular spot, like going to LA and that the matchup, I just think with Puka and Cup. I know, they've been talking about this lockdown. What is it, Guantanamo Bay or something?
And the exciting whites.
Yeah, yeah. So I get it. He's played well, but I don't think that team's faced quite a duo like Cup and Puka, who I think they're gonna, you got white boy versus white boy with Cooper DeJean and Cup there. I think Cup's gonna win that matchup, and I think Puka is gonna beat Quinyon Mitchell. So I think it's just a matchup that favors the passing attack for the Rams, and there'll be a great buy spot again for the Eagles after this. But I think this is a really good matchup for the Rams, and I think they're going to be able to get pressure on Jalen Hurts as well in this game. I think that Jared Verse, like I think that Rams line is going to be able to get some pressure. Uh, and yeah, I won't be surprised when the Rams win this game. Um, but I think covering plus this actually opened, I believe, at 3.5 or 3, so it's already come down. But yeah, love the Rams in this spot. But again, I do think the Eagles they're right now they're my like go to the Super Bowl pick from the NFC.
Um,
Just a bad spot, I think.
Puka, he's an island boy, so I think he's considered, somewhat of a white boy too. So the fact that you just left him out was kind of absurd, but you do you, PB.
Well, the thing is, was referring is Quinyon Mitchell a white boy? I was talking about the whites matchup in the slot there. That's what I was referring to.
Okay, just you got to clarify it.
Well,
Okay.
yeah, that leads me into my lock of the week is going to be the other side of this game. Eagles minus 2.5. Definitely, definitely their toughest wide receiver matchup to date. But since the Week 5 bye, the Eagles are 6-0. They've averaged 100 more yards than opponents in all 6 games and have the best defense in the NFL by EPA per play and success rate. So, and you mentioned the Rams being able to get pressure with Jared Verse. Well, the Eagles are getting Jordan Mailata back. So I think that offensive line is actually going to be able to negate a lot of what the Rams need to do, and that's get pressure on the quarterback to free up their DBs who are not very good. And on top of that, the Rams have struggled against the run all year, and they now are facing one of the best, if not the best, and most utilized run offenses in the league. I'm surprised that this number has come down. I mean, I know the Rams are at home, but it's not like they have a huge home field advantage, and the Eagles are coming off of extended rest, playing on Thursday last week. So I think it's going to be a really awesome matchup between those corners, those young guns, and the proven vets at wide receiver for the Rams. But I ultimately think that the Eagles control the pace of play in the run game and get out of here with a win on the road.
Yeah, I'm just gonna take what Alex said and just act like it came out of my mouth too, because I'm also taking the Eagles minus the 2.5 here. I think Eagles are a really good team right now. Rams are getting there, um, but I think it's just a different type of animal at this point in time, comparing the two. And the Los Angeles Rams are 0-5 ATS in the last 5 games when playing at home against the Eagles. So, I mean, that's a glaring stat. And the Eagles, I mean, I think this is going to be a huge game for AJ Brown. He hasn't had one in a minute. I know we just touched on the run game, but I think AJ Brown can go nuclear here, like a 7 catches, 150 yards, and 2 touchdowns type of game for him. So give me the Eagles. And plus, Alex has been winning all of his games, his bets. I can't hit water if I fell out of a boat, so I'm going to tail him on this one.
Yeah, a little bit of a cold streak there, Corey.
Yeah.
It's all right. Long season.
Um,
Long season.
all right, my lock of the week is going back to that Bears Vikings game. I really like that over at 39.5. I know, the weather might not be that great, but I just think Caleb, he hasn't thrown many touchdowns, and by many I mean I think he's thrown zero over the last 3 games.
Yep.
But he also hasn't been turning the ball over either. They just drive and they just can't get it done when it matters and score touchdowns in the red zone. But man, this trio of receivers, Rome, Keenan Allen, DJ Moore, they just seem like that. It just seems like that whole offense is just on the verge of a massive breakout game. And I know the Vikings, might think that's a tough spot to do it, but the Vikings' weakness is kind of like against receivers and against like a decent passing game. So I think Caleb is going to be able to get the passing game going here. You already saw, flashes like he what ran for almost 100 yards last game. So I think after that firing, like it just like made him play a bit looser. You saw, the passing game open up a bit and they almost got it done, but they didn't. And I just think this game could turn. I think Aaron. I know you mentioned Aaron Jones I actually like his matchup. I think the Bears are a bit of a run funnel, so I think Aaron Jones could have a nice game here on that side. So I just see this kind of being a little more back and forth. I think Justin Jefferson can finally get going. I don't think obviously there's a corner that can stop him. I mean, he just gets double teamed like every game now, but as you saw, like that opens up Addison and things like that. So I just see points in this game in this divisional game. I'm going to be all over this from a betting perspective and then DFS as well. But
Hmm.
love the Bears Vikings over.
I've never seen this season DJ Moore more happy than last week.
Yeah.
Body
I
language
mean,
has been so bad all year, and clearly it was Waldron. I mean, it was night and day. You know,
it
and
was
they made
such
him
a
a.
just bland off. It was
It
just
was so
ugh.
bad. I mean, the route trees were terrible. They had DJ Moore basically playing an X receiver just go route every time, or like a quick screen. And like, I get you want to get the ball in his hands on those quick screens, and that's great. Do that early. Get your stud wide receiver the ball early. They want to catch the ball, make it happen, and they did.
Yep.
And yeah, I mean, weren't able to pull it out at the end, but they were in that game, and Caleb drove them down when he needed to again, just like he did against the Commanders, and hopefully stacking some confidence here.
Yep. I'm thinking the Bears have an I think Caleb gets his confidence going at the end of the season here and it's looking good for next season, but all right. That'll do it for our NFL bet show. We'll be back next week. Only got what, 4 weeks left or 5 weeks left of the regular season? Something like that. It's crazy how
More
fast
than
it
that.
goes.
No,
Really?
it's
Uh, 6.
6.
Oh, six. Okay. So I guess we're 2/3 of the way through the season then.
Yeah.
But alrighty. Thank you guys for watching. Please leave a like, subscribe, and comment your favorite bet of the week, and we will see you next time.